Welcome to the Fasting Podcast, Wow, Wellness and Optimal Weight. I'm your host, Julie Phillips, certified natural health professional. This is episode 78, the hidden ingredient called the fat sugar. So what is the fat sugar? It's high fructose corn syrup. We'll nickname that HFCS. And that starts typically with genetically modified GMO corn. Most corn, especially in America, is genetically modified. HFCS is a non-natural sweetener derived from cornstarch with high processing temperature that requires genetically modified enzymes, alpha amylase and glucoamylase, be used in high temp processing. High fructose corn syrup is found in many foods, even some foods that you don't think are sweet, but it's commonly found in cereals, baked goods, juices, soft drinks, condiments like ketchup, processed foods, and believe it or not, the average 20-ounce soda has 15 teaspoons of sugar, which is all high fructose corn syrup. Americans consume on average 50 grams of this stuff per day. The consumption increased over 1,000% between 1970 and 1990, the biggest change of any other single ingredient. Being about 1.5 times sweeter than table sugar, it's not even available to the public. It's only available to food processors, and that's part of why we call it the hidden ingredient. It's often called by the promoters of high fructose corn syrup corn sugar to make it sound nicer. Sometimes it's called glucose-fructose or isoglucose and glucose-fructose syrup. These are all names to disguise the culprit. Large companies like Kraft and Cadbury have been called out for labeling their products as natural when they contain high fructose corn syrup. Years ago, my young granddaughter said, "Look, Grandma, this is all natural." And that's what is proclaiming. And yet it was one of these popular drinks and shouting to the rooftops, all natural, when one of the first ingredients was high fructose corn syrup. But critics who really understand this ingredient and the danger it provokes call it the fat sugar. So let's talk about some of the reasons why high fructose corn syrup is bad. It can cause cell shock and ultimately cell death, and literally can be stored as fat. It contains up to 570 micrograms of health hazardous mercury per 1 gram of high fructose corn syrup, and the body can sequester that mercury in its fat to try to protect us. So another hindrance to weight loss. Princeton University did a study that high fructose corn syrup causes more weight gain than refined sugar. Animal subjects with access to this high fructose corn syrup put on significantly more weight than those with access to table sugar with equal caloric intake. Long-term, high fructose corn syrup consumption led to abnormal increases in body fat, especially in the abdominal area, plus led to increased triglyceride levels, adding to the obesity rise. This ingredient promotes cancer growth, fatty liver stress that can lead to obesity, prediabetes, and type 2 diabetes. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition did a study, and in only 2 weeks of moderate consumption of high fructose corn syrup, it caused triglycerides and cholesterol levels to rise. That's 2 weeks. High fructose corn syrup is linked with diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, leaky gut, and more. And in episode 38, we talked about a premature aging factor called glycation, where sugar can be sticking to fats and proteins in the body. Very dangerous situation. High fructose corn syrup increases the rate of glycation 10 times. So what are some other choices of sweeteners? Well, right off the bat, I vote for let's go all natural and organic in our eating and drinking and avoiding processed foods whenever possible. Read the labels at parties, restaurants, in grocery stores, and just say absolutely no to high fructose corn syrup. Also say no to aspartame, pink and blue and yellow sugars, and even pass on agave nectar or syrup because they're likely to be high fructose corn syrup masquerading as natural. Also pass on the refined white table sugar. Most people know the situation with that. And you can consider raw organic sources like raw organic honey with sweetness and nutrients. Consider organic stevia, but beware the extra ingredients some of these stevia products have, and beware that if you do a large amount of stevia and you're allergic to ragweed, this plant is in the same family. Some people like organic maple syrup, organic dates, organic coconut sugar, organic blackstrap molasses, but you know what? Lots of people who like organic teas, for example, or coffee, they get used to having no sweetener at all, and then they seem to not be able to stand it when there is a sweetener. So our taste really can change. Possible next steps, direct questions to me, Julie at jpwowprograms.com. Please refer others and check out our website, www.jpwowprograms.com, and has slides for every episode, our favorite WOW natural products and how to get them at the lowest price, a weekly blog article, and the new WOW Lifeboat Freedom video system for income from the WOW natural products. This week we're featuring an ideal program for seniors to earn income while sharing wonderful natural products. Stay positive, focused, and determined, because where the mind goes, energy flows.